ADA, Cardano, Charles Hoskins, he's got the whole world in his hands. And in this video, we're going to talk about the fundamental and technical analysis for Cardano to find the best possible trades. On the screen there is ADABTC. That's as measured by the Binance exchange. We've got it up there because it's relevant to overall price action. You can see that it's been in a downtrend versus Bitcoin recently. Previous to that, we had a high, a low, a high, and that's all. Okay, that is the world. In the world of blockchain and Cardano, there's been a noteworthy second quarter. Pay attention, this is a fax request. You can get something similar yourself on ADA at any time or any other cryptocurrency or stock. I do them for everybody. I'm an expert and I do this so that you become an expert. Just use the link there below or on the side of the screen. Noteworthy second quarter. Cardano's blockchain activity has seen growth in the value locked and transactional metrics compared to the first quarter. So this is an uptrend. It's due to technical enhancements to the network and heightened developer interest. Notably, the decentralized exchange MiniSwap experienced significant growth, and various new decentralized applications, dapps, also contributed to this surge. Very positive news there. However, interesting to note that while transaction activity increased, there was a 4% decrease in the number of daily active users. That's the fourth such decline in the past 5 quarters. Not good news. Nevertheless, ratio of transactions to active addresses has been steadily rising. So less users, but those users are more intensively using the network, indicating that the average user is now more active than they were before. In quarter 2, this ratio saw a 6.1% increase, which was compared to the previous quarter of a 13.2% increase. So still going up. The blockchain load, which measures the amount of data contained in blocks over any specific period, rose to 50% from under 40%. So utilization going up, and the effective efficiency then of Cardano as its intended network use is very high, but did previously peak at 81% in May. And so this is interesting with regards to the fundamentals of Cardano and ADA. Interestingly, $175 million worth of tokens are currently locked on Cardano. This is the highest level for this year. The increased activity follows key Cardano upgrades implemented since the beginning of the year, leading to that heightened developer interest I mentioned. These upgrades include a change to reduce epoch transitions, making the blockchain smoother for network users. An epoch is a time period on Cardano. It lasts 432,000 slots, each slot equivalent to 1 second. During these epochs, ADA tokens are staked, potentially increasing demand for the token as block rewards become more attractive based on this network activity. So those are interesting fundamental ratios to look at with reference to these network activity factors you'd be considering, which have an implication then for rewards and for then the demand of the token. So I'm looking at the fundamentals of ADA with relation to the price. That's how I found these fundamentals to be those that are relevant to Cardano traders or investors. And as I say, this is a fax request. I commit this similar level of attention to detail, try to get the best possible useful, practical information to help you as a trader, regardless of the short-term security that you might be asking me to look at. So as I say, get in touch using that fax request and I'll do this for you as well. In March, a feature on Milkomeda, a network which connects blockchains to Ethereum virtual machine, allowed the ADA Cardano blockchain, users to access the EVM smart contracts with any Cardano wallet, which is a huge expansion to the ecosystem. And that utility enables all Ethereum application developers to build on Cardano's network using Solidity, which is the most popular coding language for Ethereum. And it means that they no longer need any new toolkits, so they don't need to learn any new or different language, which means the price of getting your application or smart contracts developed on the Cardano network drops significantly. And if you're a business or a company looking to utilize and make the best of blockchain, and you go to any sort of an advertising or development agency, then whether they're a subcontractor or they have employees in-house, those who have got the most experience will be experienced in Solidity, and the price of then deploying on Cardano drops significantly for the great number of companies that would benefit from utilizing cryptocurrency. So despite the fact that the thing sometimes seems like a PhD overall in how to make a cryptocurrency, as opposed to a dynamic and rapidly growing tech business, truth is that they go about things in the right way and it leads to very positive long-term outcomes. So now let's check out those charts and see where Cardano's going next. This is obviously the Bitcoin chart. That's the daily time frame, ADA versus Bitcoin. We can stretch that out, get a little bit more detail on the screen. You can see there on the weekly time frame, there is no significant trend. It's just going sideways. So let's then look at ADAUSDT on Binance on the weekly time frame, where we have a long-term target to the top side of 0.74, currently trading at 0.25. That's a long-term target. We're not saying you enter there right now, but should you do so from there here, it would take you up 186%. Huge move. If you're just sitting in it forever, then maybe that is adequate opportunity cost from entering this thing. Is to be considered with then alongside its trend here, which was down, still is, but most recently, since we found the low in the end of December 2022, price action has been going sideways on Cardano, as I've just drawn this box around. Let's make it yellow so it's slightly clearer and thicker so that it stands out all the more. This is price action going sideways, as it has been doing since December 2022, and this is in around the support levels, which is also a 50% retracement from the low to the high as measured from 2020 to 2021. So 50% retracement back down. In that previous context, you'd say this was an uptrend. This is a 50% retracement of it. If it doesn't hold these levels, that is 0.25. Long-term entry would be the golden pocket at 0.12, which would also be a retest of this previous channel price action was in on the weekly time frame. If it does hold 0.25, then a test of a 0.149, and sorry, that's the test of a 0.3385 would then be on the cards. Should it break there, you might be looking up at 0.4 and above, and the weekly flash up at around 0.7. That's such a huge move. Would it be entering here? Well, you'd have to chart more than the weekly time frame, which is what we're about to do. But you can see it's at a particularly important level of support, that being a 50% retracement. You've also got your Fibonacci over here, two of them, showing you exactly what's up. Right, so weekly, down to the daily time frame, where we're also going to take momentum into consideration. Again, we've got this previous good trade here, but again, trend was obviously down, is still down, but with this sideways leg on the go now, does that mean it's bottoming? Obviously, a lot of this will depend on the overall crypto market, but ADA's own metrics looking positive from a fundamental analysis. Let's see then, on the technicals, you can see you're at support levels on this most recent retracement from that sideways price action, with the high up here at 0.46 and the low as down to 0.22. You haven't managed to hold this above a 236 here without a rejection and test of the lows again. So you're looking at then maybe the golden pocket on the same fib, which works out as an 886 retracement. I'll just draw it in there to show you guys. An 886 retracement here then, up at around 0.36. That might be your target. If it does break above the 236 at 0.25, then you're targeting 0.33, 0.36. Be working through the 50 simple, heading towards the 200 period moving average, and looking for a golden pocket plus an 886 retracement from the intermittent high. So that might be where you're looking at if you see more continuation of this sideways price action. That is to say, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And when you're trading sideways price action, then you're not necessarily looking to enter at this high and close at this low, but instead you're looking to watch price action hit a resistance level, fall back down, break below crucial levels of support on that previous uptrend, at which point you can enter a position. You don't necessarily exit at the ultimate low. You look to take that down towards these important inflection points in the previous oscillation. And at these points, you take profit. And then you have a safe trade on those distances. And you don't get caught in something when you're expecting it to go long and then you enter at the support level, you get taken out. That's not necessarily what you want to do. If you're going to do that sort of a trade, really deep value, and you love a lot of chocolate on your biscuit, then you need to be experienced. And that means you need to spend more time also monitoring these positions, and you need to have a closer stop loss and manage that risk, because you want to be able to take advantage of the potential of this move a number of times. So you don't want to lose out, and also you want to be able to re-enter with a free new position at that point. So stop loss is a crucial way for managing your trades. You see more about learn how to trade on my course, also linked in the description below. 4-hour time frame then. We don't need quite so many drawings. I shall delete these drawings where we had a flash and that push towards that area previously from that low, got that move back up again. Also then part of what could be said to be a downtrend. It has evolved then with these lower highs throughout and these lower lows. Also not yet confirmed here of this sideways move again, though you would say you're coming in the apex of something with a little bit of resistance to the top side, getting increasingly closer here on the 4-hour time frame. Did we look at momentum back on the daily? Let's quickly go back there. Out of the bearish control zone, price action looking like it's a little bit too close to support for my liking, especially when you see what's going to happen here. Should this fall back into the bearish control zone, this is a rejection of the center line as it rejected from the 50 simple and failed to put in a body close above resistance despite wicking there. So a rejection, losing your own moving average, falling into the bearish control zone. Overall then, very much weakness at this level. You would say on the daily time frame there has been consolidation in that you haven't managed to break above support, break above resistance, or break below support. But while that's happened, you've got this strong weakness then. Strong weakness, this significant weakness, pardon me, which is a warning sign. So consolidation at support ahead of a break could potentially be to the downside. If ADA does then oscillate back up again, because you do have the potential for divergence there, you could be seeing a test of that resistance towards the top side, 0.26, 0.27. You break above those levels, you're targeting, as we said, those areas above. I can mark them in here. This guy, and that's the previous oscillation. Should you go above there, you should refer back to the start of the video. So that's the 4-hour time frame where there's a lot of weakness, but if you do oscillate to the top side, then it wouldn't be all that surprising, because as we say, price action going sideways. 1 hour, where you can see again, I'm going to turn off these drawings. Well, no, I'm going to delete them. 1 hour time frame, 50 simples through the 200, rejection at the center line here, downward sloping trend, momentum is weak, and the volatility, well, as it's increased, you've only seen rejections, and overall in the context of going sideways, you'd then say that the moves to the upside have been staggered, not sustained. The moves to the downside have been increasing in that range, especially recently. So you could say that if with the increasing volatility would be confirming that downward sloping trend, as you would likely make the same assessment from the momentum. So it does look like very tough short term, even if it does move back up again, because on the 4-hour and daily time frame, this has very much confirmed this downtrend and price action going sideways, but that represents consolidation at support, and that consolidation looks a little bit weak. Also, there's strong hints of continuation divergence here on the 4-hour with this rejection of the 200 period moving average. Price having not then found support at the 50 simple, it suggests that it's again weakness in Cardano. So if it does turn up to the top side, then I would also be very careful. If I'd already entered, I'd have my stop following that in profit, and I'd be taking profit on the top side, pretty sharpish. If I am looking for extended targets, it's those at the start of the video, but I see those looking a little bit dodgy there if price action breaks down, because all of this would be continuation of a greater trend, of course, with ADA dropping back down below that 50 simple retracement versus Bitcoin, should Bitcoin continue to hold. And it's doing well since it pushed back up towards 27, and that case was vacated at the SEC against Grayscale. So more to be seen with the technicals. On the 4-hour time frame, you've got potential areas to the top side to look to, but you've got so many levels of resistance ahead of you, which would, all of which, should you find rejection at, would be confirmation of the prior trend, which is downward sloping without any significant tests out of it. And if you are looking for tests out of it, you are going to very quickly reach them should price action break up again. I discount this breakout move to the top side because it failed to break above the prior high, so continuation of this trend, and we're trying to make an assessment as simple as possible here to deliver a clear message at the end of this particular video. You've got resistance levels. You have a breakout, but that doesn't negate the trend, and you would only do so then when you definitively break prior highs. Those, you could say, are on the 4-hour time frame, are this 200 period moving average and the prior test in at around 0.28. You would be already reaching important levels at 0.269, and because that's also very close and price action has been negative, and as a trader we look for continuation, if you are going long on this thing, I don't think you're getting enough signals yet to say that it's a positive move, and you could then wait for the trend to change, things to start moving to the top side, i.e. higher highs and higher lows, of which you're not seeing any yet. You're seeing lower highs and lower lows. Despite the fact that user activity is going up, obviously what would be very, very beneficial to ADA would be new users. So use cases then being practically demonstrated on this network, despite the fact that the overall market is doing a little bit lackluster, could lead to really positive news. It'd be a real dark horse if it was to start making a move. A lot of people would be in ADA, and I could see it growing, and those new users being a lot of other crypto enthusiasts getting involved in ADA. If it makes a big move, it would be very interesting to see it happen on ADA, because it's now so very relatively cheap compared to what it used to be, though so many things are. Check out the Discord, free side of Discord, www.discord.gg/rockyoutcrop, and you can get involved in conversations about ADA with other traders and investors in this cryptocurrency. Thanks very much for watching. Hit that like button. A couple of other videos today. Check them out. Target and MGNI. Both very interesting moves, looking like they might be coming soon. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.